Good morning, everybody. Welcome to My Creative Time with Emma, and also welcome to another Imagination Monday. I'm going to do a simple card today, and I decided to use the Yummy cartridge. Now, what I didn't use any of the images in here because I figured, I'm just going to do something simple. What I did was I actually just used the pattern papers from here. So what I did was I just cut out, I just got an 8.5 by 11 cardstock, white cardstock from Paper Tray Ink, and I just went ahead and I just used the stock images that are in the Imagine. I just got your square, and I went ahead and I cut out an 8.25 by 8.25 square, and this is the paper color I chose to use, which is really pretty. I'm not sure if you could see it, but it has like little words in the background. I don't know what they say, but like little script. And it has like little blotches of pink and blue. It's really pretty. So that's going to be the base of my card. And for my layering, I decided to use this really light, pretty pink color. And it kind of has a distressed look to these. Actually, to all of them, even to the brown one and to this one as well. Okay, and I did the same thing, but I didn't need a big piece on this one. I just got a 5 by 5. I colored in a 5 by 5 area, just a square, on 8.5 by 11. I didn't use the cut feature. I only used the print feature only. Okay. A couple of you were actually asking me about the Imagine versus the E2. I don't know. It depends. The E2, like if you have your Cricut already, and if you have your Imagine, you have your Gypsy, I think you're good to go. But the E2, I still haven't really gone to explore it as much as I would like to, because unfortunately time is not on my side. So if you have those three machines, you're good. Somebody asked me what I thought over the Cricut over the Imagine. Well, I would probably choose the Imagine only because the E2 you cannot, I'm sorry, somebody had asked me about the E2 versus the Imagine, and I told them if you had to choose between the two, I would go with the Imagine only because you cannot print with the E2. You can use the Imagine cartridges with it, but you cannot print the like if you want your own pattern paper, for example, really quickly, you won't be able to do that with the E2. Those are just my opinion, but I love my E2. It cuts really, really well. I think, in my own opinion, I think my expression was kind of breaking down on me at the end there. So the E2 cuts really, really well, and I don't have to do a double cut on my Paper Tray Ink paper hardly anymore because this cuts excellent. And you have your ability to adjust everything in this actual machine, so it's actually a really cool machine. So anyhow, I'm going to show you how I designed this card really quickly in my Gypsy. Now what I used 3 different cartridges for this. I used Plantain Schoolbook for the scallop. Now I wanted to show you how to do it with the, if you don't have a scallop punch, I used a scallop punch, Stampin' Up! Scallop punch with mine, but not everybody has the punches since they have the Cricut. So I wanted to show you how to reproduce this card using the scallops that are in your, on your Gypsy. But you have to have the cartridge, of course. Now I'm sure there's other scallops, but the ones I always think of right away is Plantain Schoolbook when it comes to scallops. So what I did was I got 2 rectangle shapes here. This is going to be a long card, and this is 3.94 by 8 inches, and same thing with this one over here. What I did was I just copied it over so it could be the same, or you could just go ahead and just do a standard 8 by 4. Okay, so what you want to do was I went ahead as I just got 3 of them there, and I'm going to weld it together since it's going to be a long card. So I'm just going to just use my little arrow keys at the bottom, and if you could see as I push on it, it does move it over. And what I want to do is I want to kind of overlap it a little. See how it turned a different color? And let me kind of zoom in so you could see that. Okay, you see how it turned like a greenish color? And I want to do the same thing because that's where going to be my score, so I could fold the card in half. And this one here, I'm going to scooch on over all the way till it gets toward the scallops end, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to weld all those pieces together, so I'm going to group them together first. So when you click on your group button there, just make sure you click on every single piece that you have, so it could all weld together, so it will, meaning it will cut out all in one piece, okay? So now that I group them all together, I'm going to click on my advanced button and make sure your welding button is yellow, and that's your weld button to weld all three together. And then I'm going to click on my eyeball there, and if you look at it, you see how it's still red in the center? That means I didn't scooch it over, you know, enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off the eyeball, and I'm going to go back. Actually, you know what? I think I could just click on this one of them, yeah. I'm going to move it over just a little bit more. There we go. After I moved it over a little bit more, now I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeball. And you see how now it's gray now in the center? So now it's all welded together, okay? So now it's all red, meaning when it's all red, it's all going to cut out in one piece, okay? So now what I did was I went ahead and I got, since I'm going to be using my newest stamp called Race for the Cure, I went ahead, I went to page 2, which is layer 2, and I just got these little, almost like a little top note shape. And this I got from Lacy Labels. You've noticed I've been using Lacy Labels a lot. And you probably want to check out my blog and Miss Nikki blog. Her blog as well, because we were giving something away since starting last Wednesday on her blog. And then I started giving stuff away on Thursday on my blog. And I believe Thursday is the day that I'm giving away Lacy Labels. So you probably want to go back and check both of our blogs. Nikki's is scrappinnavywife.blogspot.com, and mine is, and Nikki's giving away several different things on her blog as well, because her birthday was on the 4th. And mine is www.creativetimeforme.com, and I will be giving several things away as well, all the way up to Tuesday, because that's when my birthday is, which is tomorrow. So anyhow, this is the shape I used on this one. And if you count across, you know how there's always 10 buttons across, so there's 10, 20, 30, it's the number 34 button, which is right there, okay? That's the one I used to get my little shape there. But what I did was I had actually, to get the correct size I wanted, which is the real dial size, I turned off that little yellow link, and I had turned on my real dial size button, because I want to fit the big ribbon that I have in that stamp set in here. So what I did was I made sure the width was 2 1/4 and the height was 3 1/4. And then when I went to this one, now I'm going to show you how I shadow mine really quickly here. Okay, let's see. On this one here, okay, this is the bigger one, which is 2.45 in the width and 3 1/2 on the height. But all you really have to do, let me zoom in so you can see this, to shadow something, let me, you know what I'm going to do? I don't want to confuse. I'm going to move this down there, and I'm going to move this up here, and I'm going to turn off my eyeball so you don't have to see the background of the other page, alright? All you really need to do to shadow with your Gypsy, and this is the way I do it, I just click on my advanced button, okay? Then I copy the same shape over, but I keep it on top of that, alright? And then you could zoom in so you could see. And all I do is I use this little feature here, the little hourglass feature, and this changes the size to make it bigger. And then I just kind of keep changing it until you see how now it's shadowing it perfectly. That's how I usually shadow something, and that's the way I do it, and it's super simple that way for me, okay? So, since I already have my shadow feature, what I did was, now we could go ahead and look at page 1, okay? So now what I'm going to do with this card, this is the shadow layer, I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put the layer on top, and this is where I'm going to stamp my little ribbon in, okay? So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cut out the page 1 first, okay? So let's go to page 1. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and load our paper. We'll actually click on the little razor blade to cut it. Now we're going to load it. And then as you could see here, if you did the update on your Gypsy, I love it how they updated our Gypsy where you can control the speed now. Okay, so I always, since it's a simple cut, I just keep it on 5 for quick pressure. I'll keep on 5 since it is a thicker cardstock. I'm using paper tray ink. For the multi-cut, you could either, I believe, let's see how far it goes up to. Oh, wow. It goes up to 10. You could cut up to 10 cuts at a time. Wow, that's a lot. And multi-cut meaning the thickness of your actual material that you're using. That's cool. I just now discovered that. So either you could do 1 or 2 with the paper tray ink, but like I said, my E2's been cutting really, really well, so I could just probably get away with just 1. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on the cut, and we checked everything, the pressure and everything's perfect now. Click on OK. So as soon as this is done cutting, I'm going to go ahead and come back. We're going to get the card together. Here is the card base right here. I went ahead and I put it together now. Now, when you do it, since I used my own scallop, I should have use the cut in there, but I had already cut this out yesterday, and I wanted to use a pink strip instead, so obviously I had changed my mind on that. What I did was as you can see, I had used my Imagine, so the inside of the paper is white, and here goes. This is how it looks. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so what I did was I just scored it, and because at first it was just all plain square, what I did was I cut like maybe a 1/2 inch off of here on this side, and I got in that pink paper. A strip was about maybe, let's see, it was 1.5 across and 8 inches high, and I just glued that. I used my scallop, this Stampin' Up! Scallop punch here, and I punched that out, and then I just went ahead and I just did that like that. So there's a few different ways you could do this, okay? Super simple. So what I did, and here goes my pieces right here. I cut out my layer in the chocolate cardstock, and I cut out my pink one in that paper that I showed you. And I had already actually stamped it with my stamp set called Race for the Cure. And just so you'll know, whoever purchases this stamp set, $2 from each purchase. For each set that is purchased, you will be partnering up with My Creative Time to donate the $2 to the Susan G. Komen for the Cure. And I'm going to go ahead and keep that like forever. I'm not going to have a time limit on that. So whoever purchases this, and I have to get that done. I haven't had a chance to. I'm going to have like a little button on my blog, and it's going to kind of give us a tally, so this way everybody could see what we're raising for, so you can see that the money is going toward that. And this is what it looks like here. So what I did was I used the bigger ribbon, and how I designed this where all of the little sentiments could go in the ribbon. And I believe the only one that will not fit in there is Race for the Cure, which is fine. You could go ahead and do that across if you'd like. But I used, for my card today, I stamped Never Give Up in the ribbon. Now, as you could see here on this, I didn't judge it that well. I should have made it a little bit taller because it didn't fit quite perfectly, but hey, if you want a perfect card, you might as well just buy it at the store, correct? So this is going to go right there. Let me see, I will be popping it up. Let me grab my glue, my ATG gum. Hold on one second. I'm going to go ahead and use I can't find my pink one, so we'll use this one here. Yeah, the only reason I mentioned that about the proceeds going to, because someone asked me, because they said they couldn't purchase my stamp set right away, but they didn't want to miss out on having the $2 portion go toward that foundation. That's what they said. Was there a certain time limit? And I told no, there wasn't actually. Okay, so this is going to go like so. And this is going to be popped up there. Let me grab some pop dots. And I did just get some new ones. Hold on. Oh my goodness, my desk is a mess. Here we go. These are my favorite ones that I used, and I was so excited because we took my mom out to out to lunch yesterday. She wanted to actually have pizza, so of course my boys were so excited. So we went to this really good pizza place here, and after that, since it was our day, we got to go to Joann's. And these are, I thought Michael's carried these, but apparently they don't. So these are my favorite ones. These are from Scrapbook Adhesives, and these are the squares. I like those other ones I've been using, but they're a little bit on the thicker side. I like these, okay? So this is it right here. As you can see, oh, one of mine got stuck in the package. There it goes. Let me grab it out. I was going to say somebody used it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put these behind here really quickly. Okay, now for this one, I think... Let's see, because I wanted to put some ribbon just to kind of cut it off right there. I'm not sure if I want to... I don't know. Okay. For now, I'll probably put it off to the side like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this ribbon here. And this color is Sweet Blush from Paper Tray Ink. My favorite polka dot. I always order... Somebody asked me which ribbon do I get because they have choices. I always get, of course, the Swiss. This is the Swiss dot. I got the tiny dot. I think they call it the itty bitty dot. I don't know. I could be making that up. I'm not sure. And then I get the one that has like the little stitching on the edges, and then I get the plain satin one. Those are the three I get all the time, or the four, I should say. Okay, this I want to put here. So what I need to do is I need to use my X-Acto knife here because I don't have a layer that I could actually tie the ribbon around. So I'm just going to have to go through the actual card. Okay, and I just use this cute little X-Acto knife. We're supposed to, I'm not using it the proper way. You're supposed to put your finger there and do it, but that's fine with me. I use it this way better. And it's really cute. I actually picked this up at Target. Excuse me, Target. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just put this through my card here. Well, I should say there's a little hole I just made. Okay, there we go. Oops, sorry about that. Alright, let me get my scissors. These are my good scissors here. Nobody's allowed to touch these. These are for my ribbon, special for my ribbon. Okay. Let me see here. So now we're just going to go ahead and tie a bow. Now these are a little tricky to tie since there's not something on both sides. So you kind of want to just like, let's see, it's kind of hard to explain so you could just see what, twist that around so the little polka dots, you can see the polka dots on there. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. Otherwise you'll get only the plain side rather than the polka dots. So let me push this out this way. Oops, I did it too. I should have tied it tighter. Let me tie it a little bit tighter here. There we go. Yeah, you kind of have to play with it there. You see how I was able to get it where you could get the polka dots on like kind of upward rather than it being like that. Okay, there we go. And let me just kind of cut the little tails here. Okay, now you know I'm not done with this ribbon here. I'm getting ready to have to go wake up the boys, so I can't finish this on camera. So I'm not done with the card, I should say. I will be adding a few more things here. Usually I do my videos at nighttime, but you know what? I figured I'm going to start them in the morning, doing them in the mornings now early because I'm not getting enough rest as I should, and I don't want to get sick again. God knows Kaiser, our doctors, don't want to see the Aguilar family in their office anymore. They're probably sick of us. So anyhow, this is my card for today. Of course, I will be adding some stitching on here. Probably some little bling. So that's it, and that's the sentiment that's on the thing, never give up. I just went ahead and I just stamped that in the ribbon. Super simple card. So anyways, everybody, I hope you enjoyed my card for today. And, oh, I didn't even tell you, the giveaway for today is going to be, it is sponsored by Peachy Keen Stamps. I figured I want to give away something happy today, and this was my original absolute favorite must-have stamp set that I had to have from Peachy Keen, which is the Everyday Character Face Assortment, okay? So this is the giveaway for today, so all you have to do is leave a comment on my blog. So go back to if you're watching from YouTube, you're going to go back to www.creativetimeforme.com, leave a comment on that post, and also head on over to Miss Nikki's blog, which is scrapandnavywife.blogspot.com, and see what she has in store for you today. Okay, have a wonderful day today, everybody, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.